All right, you jewelry outlaws out there, welcome back to Boom Jewelry tutorials, adventures, process. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, come back and hang out with us again. Today, friends, we are working on repurposing some old pieces that I have. This is a commission, and the client wants earrings out of these. Now, I know they're not exactly the same size, but they're pretty cool, and I think they're going to be some pretty awesome earrings. But these are from a belt. So originally, these were, the belt just fed right through there. These are very nice pieces, guys. Yes, yes, yes. So I already am making a ring out of this one. This is for the client. It's going to be all matching. Earrings, a ring, and I'm working on a necklace. But the goal of this tutorial today is to work on removing these stones. And removing the stones process is a process, and it takes a little bit of skill, but really mostly just patience and attention. So you might have to turn on your, zoom in your eyeballs, or put on your readers or your close glasses for this. Maybe not if you have good vision. But we're going to remove these stones, guys, and this is what I use. I have one of these little kits that has an X-Acto knife, and I actually have an X-Acto knife in there. I think you can do it with an X-Acto knife. But I have this blade that's part of this Hyper Tough 16-piece precision knife set. I believe Harbor Freight, probably, because I get some stuff at Harbor Freight, and I'm not too proud to say that I buy cheap tools sometimes, but whatever works for me and within my budget. Oh, man. Gotta have beer money. Gotta save some money for beer, guys. Come on, friends. All right, guys, so this is it, and it broke off. Broke the tip off at some point in my history, but I'm not sure when. But what I do, guys, right here is and I'm going to remove these back parts, and I'm going to put a little hook here and make the earrings. But the key to this video, friends, the point of this video is to remove this stone without damaging the bezel, because I'd like to reuse this bezel. In fact, the client would prefer that if I can reuse all the bezels. So I'm 1 for 1. Let's go 2 for 2, guys. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of zooming in, and I'm just looking at the rim of the bezel, and I'm looking at a point that it might be a little high. It's very close right there, but I see a spot on this corner and this edge right here. So what I do, guys, is I just get the sharp edge of the blade and angle it down like that so that I can get my blade between the bezel and the stone. And you can see just the very tip of it did. And then I just use my thumb right here, and I press down. And then I wiggle. And then it's kind of like, just kind of wiggle a little bit. It's kind of like opening a old can of chili beans or something, you know? Pork and beans. You ever like pork and beans out there, friends? Oh, when I was a kid, I loved the pork and beans. Oh, those little white mystery little cubes that were in the pork and beans. I don't know what they were, but they were delicious. So, guys, right here, I'm just kind of working it. And if you can see right there, guys, see that? So I'll put this in fast motion, and I'll shut up so you don't have to hear the squeaky whenever I talk during the fast motion. Let's listen to a beat and just watch me do this. All right, real quick, guys, just make sure that you're having the tip of it, that you visually see it inside the bezel. Because if you go outside and you push, you're going to cut into your finger, and that's not going to feel good. Also, make sure that the sharp part of the blade is not cutting into the bezel. Kind of maybe angle it in, you want to angle it in the middle, but if anything, angle it towards the stone. The hardness of the stone is harder than the soft, fine bezel. And the blade is really not going to cut into the stone, but it can cut into the bezel, in my experience. All right, friends, so you can see that I got all the way around it, and now the age of this, it's pretty old, and I think there's some gunk in there. So one of the things you could do is, at this point, I don't know if maybe you could put it in your Sonic and vibrate, zzz, and get all that gunk out. I don't know if you want to Sonic this with the stone in it. I think you can. In the comments, guys, can you Sonic with the stone in? I think some of us need to know that. I've never done it, I don't think. So tell me if it's a good idea or a bad idea, and maybe why. But I would think that if I put it in the bottom of my Sonic like that, and then put maybe the vinegar water or whatever the solution, soap solution water, it would, the heat of the water would allow some of this gunk to come out, because I think some of the gunk is holding the stone in place. So at this point, guys, I'm just going to go over it. I went over it once. I'm going to go over it again. And this can be a process, guys, but when you were really trying to be careful, like I could have probably went a little faster if I was a little more reckless, but I don't want to screw this up, guys. So I'm taking my time and being patient. And on the other one, guys, at one point, I just kind of went under and then kind of pulled. I went under and then I kind of twisted, gave it a little, just a tension twist on the stone, and then pulled, and then it wanted to lift out. But I think I need to work a little bit more on that gunk, because that gunk is kind of acting like an adhesive. So I'm just going to keep doing this, guys. I'm going to go over it again. It's kind of boring, but I'll bring you guys back once I do. All right, jewelry fiends. Here we are. I worked it just a little bit more, and I did not Sonic it, but in the comments, again, please mention what your opinions on that. If we can Sonic this with the stone in and get some of that gunk out. But I think I'm close, guys. If you can, let's take a quick look. And took me about 10 minutes, probably total, to do this. And I think we're getting close. Let's get right in here. A little twist on the tension. Just want to go through and just make sure it's feeling loose. Because that silver, when you set the stone, as you know, it hugs, and it kind of reduces on itself. Getting close. I think it's the gunk that's holding it in, guys. Okay, I think we're getting there. Okay, guys, I think we're there. Okay, guys, that's it. Now, if you could look around the rim of that, you can see the gunk from the years of age. But that's the bezel, and if you look at it, I think we're good. All right, guys, so the next thing I'm going to do is take these off, and I think you guys might already know how I do that. I basically just put this like this. And these are kind of bent in, but typically what I'll do is I'll just go like this. And then heat it from the top, not underneath where the bezel is. I'll heat it from the top and get these coppers really hot. And once the coppers get to a certain heat, they're going to release that solder. And then I'll use my torch, and then I'll use my pick to put a little tension on it, and then it'll just pop off, and then I'll have little solder messes right there. And this solder melted pretty easy, guys. I have a feeling this might have been easy solder because it melted pretty. It didn't take a lot of heat. And I'm sure they use hard solder for the bezel, and then probably medium or easy solder for these buckles that go for the belt. So I'm going to release this guy from his thing too, and then I'll take these off and then get these ready for earrings. And I'll probably show you the finished product of that, see what they look like, if you guys like them. And yeah, guys, so that's how you take a stone out. That's one way. Typically, you don't want to see glue at the bottom of these, guys. If I did that and then I couldn't get the stone out and I realized that it was glued, then I would have to trash this whole thing and then make a new bezel for it. And then it'd be really hard to get that glue off. So don't use glue, guys. Just this person just put it right in there, and that's what you can do. So some people use I've used leveling clay, I've used sawdust, I've used tobacco, which is sacred to the native culture. Tobacco is sacred, so to have that in there. There's a debate out there: organic matter under your stone, is that a good idea or a bad idea? It's a debate, so you guys can have that debate. I'm not really here to enter that debate. I do whatever works for the moment, and sometimes yes, sometimes no. So yeah, guys, thanks for joining. If this had any value, please hit subscribe. I'm not going to be making a lot of videos this summer because I'm going to be out enjoying the beautiful nature, but I will share some pictures just briefly. I know you guys aren't too interested in my life, but it's just I live in a beautiful area of Western Colorado, and I have to share some of this stuff because, man, people don't get to see what is right in my backyard, and I just like to share that, guys. So yeah, I hope you guys are out there staying brave, making awesome jewelry, and I'll be making videos throughout the summer, but you know how it is out here in these mean streets. You got to go out and live your life and smell the roses a little bit, friends. And I hope you guys are doing the same this beautiful summer or winter. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you probably are experiencing winter. I think I remember that from school. I don't really understand, but my job is to make jewelry, not understand. So, guys, I got Juanitosville mugs in my shop. You guys are free to buy me a coffee if you guys appreciate what I'm doing out here in Juanitosville. And if not, just come back, man, and hang out some more. And so I got plenty of silver, and I got gas in my torch and all my tools, so I don't really need much. Talk to you guys later. I'll catch you with your flippers on. I mean, on the flip side. I'm out. Peace.